Time for the final match of this week as we get ready for match day 6 in MLS Next Pro. Philadelphia Union 2 taking on Atlanta United 2, Eastern Conference battle here in Kennesaw, Georgia. Philadelphia, unbeaten throughout their first 4 matches of the season, have been in top form. They won their first 2 matches outright, have picked up an extra point in one of their past 2 matches. And for a Philadelphia team, they really are looking forward to this test against Atlanta, a team that has been off for 3 weeks. Their last match was on March 24th, a 4-0 drubbing of Carolina Core. And so here is what the Eastern Conference standings look like right now. Of course, as mentioned, for Philadelphia, a team that is currently sitting in 4th in the Eastern Conference with 9 points, and for Atlanta, have only playing those 2 matches and falling in their first match of the season. Below the, of course, playoff line right now, but still a lot of time in this season and still a lot of matches because Atlanta's going to have a couple in short succession throughout the next week. Here is the Atlanta starting lineup for Coach Cook. And for Atlanta at the top, they have a 17-year-old Matt Dejani, who is making his 2nd start. Behind him, Alan Carlton. And for Carlton, he's going to have a key piece to his right. That is Luke Brennan. Brennan, a homegrown signing, and Brennan had a brace in the last match versus Carolina. So looking forward to seeing what Luke Brennan brings to the table, along with Matthias Gallardo. That is the front 4 for Atlanta. Now looking at the Philadelphia Union 2 lineup for Coach LeBlanc, Chris Donovan and Marcus Anderson at the top. Of course, this 4-4-2 diamond. You have an understanding of what Philadelphia wants to do. Coach Cook for Atlanta said he has so much respect for Philadelphia because of how they go about their business. They are tough, they are gritty, and they are not going to make things easy for you. So these first 15 minutes or so of this match are going to be interesting. Very similar to what we saw when these first teams matched up this weekend. Whose style is going to speak up more throughout the beginning of the match? Whichever team could potentially find an early goal and then sit into their defensive shape, that's going to be a big key in this match. You think about Atlanta, they are just chomping at the bit to play another opponent. They have been playing each other and also played the first team while they were on this 3-week break. But now ready for another opponent, and it's Philadelphia. We start match day 6. Atlanta United 2 and Philadelphia Union 2 from 5th Third Bank Stadium in Kennesaw, Georgia. Head referee is Sean Tahini. Philadelphia and Anderson trying to work forward. Ball's cleared away by Noble Okello. A lot of contact, and Luke Brennan ends up on the pitch, and there'll be a free kick for Atlanta United. So we talked about Brennan. No other academy player has played more minutes with Atlanta United 2 in the team's history. Brennan, who is 19 years of age, has been logging minutes with Atlanta United 2 for many years now and earns his team a free kick within 2 minutes of the first whistle. Ball zipped into the box, and that was Neil Pierre who got ahead to it. Pierre, another young player, played with the U17s at the GA Cup just last week, winning it for Philadelphia. Now he is back in the starting lineup for Philadelphia Union 2. corner. Sent it to the box. Rising and getting a good head to it was Ronald Hernandez, but could not sneak it inside that near post. Atlanta, who always pressures high, forces the errant ball and a throw in for the home side. Mentioned Atlanta, their first match of the season versus Orlando. They went ahead on a penalty by Javier Armas, but could not keep Orlando at bay, giving up 3 straight goals before finding one late in the match from Efrain Morales. But Coach Cook was ecstatic about the team's response. And an early yellow card going to Matthew Edwards. So your captain goes on a yellow card just 3 minutes into the match because of the tackle. Nick Pariano is holding on to the ball right now as blocked by our vision. We'll get the number for you in just a moment. David Vasquez was the man that took the contact. Chris Olney Jr. and Vasquez, the two that stand over the free kick right now. We've had a set piece in a corner for Atlanta, and now the first set piece for Philadelphia. Ball's whipped into the box, it will bounce, and John Berner will easily reel it in. Berner, the former Huntsville City player coach. And his days in the MLS go all the way back to 2014 when he was a draft pick of Colorado. Dejani can't keep that ball in. Philadelphia has a throw. Mentioned that Philadelphia has started their season unbeaten. First 2 matches, 2-1 wins over Toronto and New England. And then a couple of 1-1 draws versus Chicago and Orlando. Armas takes contact, and the 24-year-old goes to the pitch. It will be a free kick after the contact was made by Marcus Anderson. And Armas, cool under pressure, knew that Anderson was going to race towards him, and as soon as he felt the contact, went down. Atlanta starting the race forward. Gallardo, nice ball around to Brennan, but he could not control it as he was steps away from the 18-yard box. Carlton controls for Atlanta. Brennan trying to keep the ball in play, ends up with Armas. Nice turn, whips the ball out wide. Dejani was the intended target, but the ball trickles out of play. Philadelphia, a playoff team last year. And has been a consistent performer at every level, whether it be at the first team level here at Next Pro as well as in the academy level. Of course, the Union not too far removed from being a finalist at the MLS Cup. And we talked about recently having the GA Cup. Philadelphia U17 winners in back-to-back seasons, and their U15s were in the finals 2 years ago. So high expectations from top to bottom in Philly. Free kick for Atlanta. 8th minute of action, no score. Here in the Eastern Conference, Javier Armas ready to take it, and Sean Tahini, our head referee, having a conversation. Some pushing and shoving between Oletu Akanya and Ronald Hernandez. Armas lifts the ball into the box, and after all of the pushing and shoving, doesn't even have a chance to really deliver it. Free kick for Philadelphia. Donovan, Burner is out. He heads this forward and has to be perfect in that situation. Long throw, Chris Donovan in possession. And the ball will bounce in the box and bounce out. But if you're John Burner there, you see the ball, you come off your line, but Donovan is the first to it. And if he gets that header right around Burner, there's nobody in goal, and it's a tap in. So Burner being aggressive and coming out on the right end of it as we near 10 minutes gone. A lot of contact. Philadelphia takes over in possession, plays direct, looking for Anderson. Pass that was too heavy from Sanders and Gabo. Both of these teams want to play in similar ways. Want to win the ball high up the field and then play direct into their attacking players for easy goal-scoring opportunities. Of course, nothing is easy about finishing. That is the hardest part. But when you win the ball high up the field and force teams to play in transition, that's when you might find your best opportunities. Anderson taps back. Ball cut back across. Vasquez does not test Burner. You see Vasquez quickly picks his head up and puts a shot. Tries to put it on frame. It's a little too high. Edwards sitting on the yellow, then a trip. Verdicio, now Donovan. Pariano. And Gabo joins into the action. Rojas Torres. Westfield looking for options, now picks the ball back up off the turnover and just tries to cross the ball into a dangerous area. Donovan was there, but the ball bounces into the hands of Burner. But right now, Atlanta is struggling to get past this first line of pressure being put on by Philadelphia. And the Union have won the ball multiple times over the last 5 minutes or so. Philadelphia will take over in possession once again. Atlanta now with an opportunity to defend. Okello attempts to play direct. This ball will bounce right into Andrew Rick's box, and he picks it up and restarts play. This is Carlton for Atlanta. Alan Carlton, 19-year-old from Powder Springs, Georgia, was on the first ever Atlanta United Academy team that went to the GA Cup back in 2016. Both of these franchises really do it right in regards to building from within their academy. Philadelphia just recently signed its 21st homegrown. This is Noble Okello for Atlanta, just trying to stay in possession with Pariano on him. Armas. First line of defense is broken, and Gallardo comes out wide to Edwards. Edwards. Dejani. Okello. And Gallardo. Edwards to Gallardo. Right there is Olowetu Nakanya. Ball comes right in. Been a great defensive shape for Philadelphia. They just do such a great job of clogging the channels down the left and right side, forcing you to one side, and then that's when they really start to pounce. So you have to do this, have to play direct over the top, but Gallardo was offside. Coach Cook talked to us this week and again, just had so much praise for Philadelphia and how they go about their business, how they defend, how they make things difficult. They knew it was going to be a challenge just because of this team from top to bottom. But also was happy that his team got a chance to really get back to their main principles this past 3-week break. Although he was not happy about being off for 3 weeks, said the team basically had a mini preseason again and talked about their fundamentals. And now coming forward is Dejani. Matt Dejani does not test Andrew Rick right at him. No real power behind that shot. Continuing on the point of getting back to the basics, the fundamentals. They also got a chance to play the first team. And he was really pleased with how some of the U17s played against the first team. Whether it was a Dejani or Matt Hadley. Chris Donovan takes this ball over for Philadelphia. Now Pariano back to Donovan, does not make the turn. Ngabo. Pariano. Donovan. Anderson. And Matthew Edwards taps that ball out. Philadelphia now has a corner. Comes on with some pace, punched away by Berner, kept in. Ball sent back into play, headed right into the back of the net. A beautiful dime from David Vasquez, and the goal scored by Philadelphia. 1-0 Union on top. And Chris Donovan is the man that heads it back into play. You always say the first action is something that you can deal with, but how do you deal with the second action? And Donovan was just quicker to the ball. Everyone was caught ball watching for Atlanta. Donovan was the first to pounce. And the former Colonial Athletic Association Player of the Year scores for Philly. And they lead 1-0. So Atlanta finds themselves down at home to Philadelphia. You talk about Chris Donovan. Talk about Chris Donovan, third on the team in scoring last year with 6 goals, 8 goals in 2022 for the Union, and he earned a first-team contract. Right now, Marcus Anderson is coming off the field. So once we have more information on what happened with Anderson, we'll get that to you. But Chris Donovan is no stranger to scoring goals. Had a big goal last year in the playoffs versus New England at the first team level. And scores the first goal today. Donovan will put the pressure on Berner. He'll go to Edwards. This broadcast is presented by Piedmont. 20th minute, and Philadelphia has the opening goal. And now a poor turnover. Vasquez with it. Donovan racing into the box. Armas boots it away. Sanders and Gabo with it for Philadelphia. Now Pariano. He's dispossessed. Carlton and Pierre sliding in. Sends that ball back into the Atlanta defensive half. Fifth Third Bank plays host to Atlanta United 2's next game this coming Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern versus FC Cincinnati 2. Check out all the action right here on MLSNextPro.com. You just saw Marcus Anderson come back onto the field, the Brooklyn, New York native, which is a great sign for Philadelphia. Armas heads this ball away. And Brennan on the touchline trying to keep it in play. And some fans trying to stay out of the way of that clearance. And Vasquez is very excited about the clearance. And maybe a little bit too excited as he's now having a conversation with our head referee, Sean Tahini. And also will have a conversation with the fans who start to rain down some boos. Weren't too happy with that. But you know, for Philadelphia, they pride themselves on their defense, and clearances like that really get them going. Anything that they do well defensively will send them into a flurry. So expect to see more of that as this match goes on. Excitement for defensive plays. Hernandez hits this deep. Brennan racing and will retrieve the ball. Back to Hernandez, who steps in. Armas. Now Edwards. Goes back to Caden Moore. Atlanta just trying to find an avenue through, but there's no space through the middle. So Armas trying to do it on his own, but loses possession for the moment. A foul will return possession back to Atlanta. Javier Armas, 24th overall pick from Oregon State in this past Super Draft for Atlanta. Back heel, unsuccessful by Matias Gallardo. And look who's on his horse. Chris Olney Jr. tracks this ball down on the touchline. And Burner has to come out to get that with Sanders and Gavo racing forward. Venture into the 25th minute with Philadelphia leading 1-0. And the question is, will Atlanta be able to find a way through this Philadelphia defense? They've made it very difficult, forcing Atlanta to play around them. And then once they force the ball to a side, cutting things down and forcing them to stay on that side, really not allowing Atlanta to switch the point of attack. That's exactly what we saw for Philadelphia over the course of the past season. They have a true understanding of their identity, and they play at a high level. Edwards receives it back. Now the ball comes to Armas and attempts to switch play, and now Atlanta can express itself a little bit. Brennan, ball takes a deflection, and Atlanta has a corner kick. But you see there, as soon as that first line of defense is broken for Atlanta and they can then get the ball out wide, they then have a chance to really find themselves in some space. And then you have players like Luke Brennan or Matt Dejani that can start to make a difference. Javier Armas prepares to take the corner. Atlanta down 1 goal. Outswinging ball, Morales rises for it. Ball bounces behind him, but Atlanta continues in possession. Edwards will go to Armas, who keeps the ball in play. The secondary action. Hernandez hits the ball high. Donovan gets ahead to it, and tracking it down was Gallardo. Edwards, former Tar Heel, takes the ball into the box, and he's dispossessed by Nick Pariano. Brennan attacking the back line, cannot go around his defender. Atlanta now has a free kick. Javier Armas prepares to deliver another ball into the box. Armas, who had a free kick goal last time he was in the stadium, from much closer, of course. This ball sent in. Morales was there. The ball took a touch off a Philadelphia player, and Atlanta now has a corner. That ball was served in excellently. Gallardo sends in this ball, out swinging, bouncing around. First hit is blocked. Second one is blocked as well from Morales, and then cleared by Philadelphia. Edwards sends the ball back into the area. Armas can't control it, but Philadelphia has to send the ball out for a throw. So Atlanta starting to simmer a bit. Down the goal, Armas lifts the ball in, and just too high for Matthew Dejani. And the jostling for position goes the way of Philadelphia. So you hear the goalkeeper, Andrew Rick, just telling everyone up, wanting them to disperse from the space. Atlanta had put in a great passage of play, a great spell, putting some pressure on Philadelphia. So Rick just clearing his lines and maybe sparking an offensive opportunity. Anderson, through two defenders, will force a foul. Marcus Anderson, just 20 years of age, played with Rayo Majadahonda in Spain's third division last year. Now a free kick from Philadelphia, looking to double their lead as we near half an hour gone in the first half. Vasquez sends the ball into the box. It's headed away by Morales. Bouncing, and throw in coming for Philadelphia. This broadcast is presented by Gallagher. 31st minute of action. Philadelphia leads 1-0. The goal scored by Chris Donovan. A fantastic header off an assist from David Vasquez. This is Francis Westfield. Central to Marcus Anderson. Now Nick Pariano. Oh, nice idea from David Vasquez. Now Carlton was trying to send Luke Brennan deep, and Philadelphia loses possession once they get it back. Atlanta, over the past 5 minutes, put some pressure on Philadelphia, but outside of that, it's been all Union. Now Dejani trying to race behind the defense, but just too big, too strong back there at the center back position is Oluwetu Makanya. A push in the back by Caden Moore, and a free kick for Philadelphia. So a different wrinkle there from Atlanta. Rather than trying to play out of the back and then work the ball around after getting it to one side, having Dejani, the number 9, come in and make a diagonal run down the touchline to release the pressure. You see it. That's what you want to see from these young players. How do they answer the questions being posed by the defense? This ball comes in to Anderson. Goes in behind, ball cut back. And too heavy. The near post run was being made by Donovan. He could not get to it. And now an Atlanta player needing some more time. That is Matthew Dejani. Dejani seems to be okay. Edwards with a space. Now Gallardo beats one defender. Matthias Gallardo steps into the box, cuts it across, and it's headed away by Francis Westfield. Westfield gives Atlanta the corner. Set piece is a way to change the match. Gallardo stands over this corner, outswinging ball. And contact made near the 6. Set a reminder, because you are not going to want to miss Union 2's next game on April 21st when they welcome Red Bulls 2 to Chester, PA. Coverage on MLS Season Pass begins at 3 p.m. Eastern. Red Bulls were in a raucous match this past week with Crown Legacy. Went up 4 goals, and that match ended in a 5-5 draw. So no shortage of scoring from New York, and expect to see something similar when they play Philadelphia. Don't know if it's going to be 5 goals, but with the way that the Union is defending right now and has been this season, may just be 1. Philadelphia in all 4 matches has given up at least 1 goal, but that has been it. Numbers starting to come forward for Philadelphia for this free kick. Vasquez decides to send the ball in, headed away initially by Atlanta. And Luke Brennan was trying to get around Sanders and Gabo, could not. Atlanta has the throw. Moore. Edwards. Moore sends the ball away. And that's a win for Philadelphia. We've seen Atlanta try to play around this left side pretty much all first half. And that is where Philadelphia has started to siphon the ball. Chris Donovan will come around to force that pass out to the left side. And then Philadelphia has closed down the space. So I've executed their game plan to perfection and lead by a goal. Donovan chests this down. Pariano sees it squirt out. Westfield comes to join the party, receives it. Nice ball. Finally a shot. And Chris Olney Jr., who had 4 goals last year, can't find the goal right there. Nice way to break through lines there. Oh, what a return ball. Now Carlton is coming. Has the shot. And again, just little ways to start to make Philadelphia think of something different. Have not seen Alan Carlton come in and pick up that space. And then excellent 1-2 play to break free. Just no service in the final third for Atlanta. This ball's headed down by Caden Moore and picked up by Javier Armas. Hernandez, Okello, and Philadelphia takes this back. Armas commits the foul. Chris Olney Jr. stands back up. Gardicio. Westfield goes right to Anderson. Marcus Anderson goes through the legs of the defender. Anderson stopped by Morales. Ball whistling on the touchline and then will roll out. Nice initial action by Marcus Anderson, but just ran out of real estate. Now Carlton. Westfield step for step with Luke Brennan down that right side. And now can Anderson pick this up? And it'll be a Philadelphia corner. This broadcast is presented by Adidas. 41st minute, 5 minutes remaining plus stoppage time in the first half. Philadelphia in front by a goal, which came not on a corner, but after a corner. The second initial action off the corner turned into a David Vasquez assist and a goal from Chris Donovan. What do the Union have in store here? Ball comes towards the near post. Out again for another Philadelphia corner. Chris Olney Jr. prepares to send the ball in. And now before he can do that, some pushing and shoving. And Sean Tahini wants to have a conversation with Matias Gallardo and Olowefu Makanya. Whistle blows and play continues. Olney Jr. whips this ball towards the back post. Burner just punches it away, has to get back onto his feet, and Makanya watches it roll out for a third Philadelphia corner. So now this will be Vasquez, who has the assist on the day. Vasquez, of course, an academy product here through Philly. Whips the ball into the box, and Burner rises above everyone to grab it. Luke Brennan was shrieking down the right channel, but Burner could not get it to him. Burner puts this back into play to Hernandez. Brennan Racing forward, numbers in the box, but Brennan takes it himself. Anderson, and a perfect slide tackle by Ephraim Morales. Now the match opening up a bit. Atlanta would do well to utilize this opportunity late in the first half. Gallardo. Armas switches the point of attack to Hernandez. Ball ends up with Brennan. Booms the ball into the box. Gallardo got ahead to it. Edwards tracks the ball down on the touchline. Back to Gallardo. Gallardo crosses the ball. And it's dealt with by Macanya. Carlton. Central to Armas. But Matias Gallardo was offside as Armas with a beautiful strike. Anderson and Edwards will watch his teammate Caden Moore hit that out. Ball goes to Marcus Anderson. Can't slip the ball to Nick Pariano. Yamir Beradicio throws the ball in. And Gallardo blocked down from behind, grabbing Beradicio. Gallardo was grabbing Beradicio's shorts. He did not take kindly to that. Gallardo is looking for a card on Beradicio. That does not come either. What is trekking forward is Atlanta and Luke Brennan. Now Carlton tracks back to Hernandez. Okello picks up a good spot, but he is pushed off the ball by Sanders and Gabo. Anderson loses possession, and Caden Moore looking for options. Ball lost back to Philadelphia. Westfield. Olney Jr. Pariano. And the ball's blocked away by Ephraim Morales. Philadelphia with the corner, the fourth official announcing a minimum of 2 minutes of stoppage time. We've already played one of that minimum of 2. And have a feeling that Philadelphia is going to milk things at the corner spot before taking this set piece. Olney Jr. sends the ball in, dealt with by Hernandez. And this header, Brennan around the defender. So Brennan beats Beradicio. Luke Brennan still with it, ends up on the pitch and does not believe that nothing comes from that contact. A long run made by Luke Brennan, but nothing to show for it for Atlanta. This ball goes out of play. And that does it for the first half. The lone goal scored by Chris Donovan for Philadelphia. And the Union in front of Atlanta United, as Luke Brennan still having a conversation with Sean Tahini, wondering why there was nothing in that final action. So our halftime score, Philadelphia 1, Atlanta 0. Halftime is coming up after we check in with the Generation Adidas Cup. Time to talk U15 action at the GA Cup. It was between Valencia and Toulouse for the championship. Here's how it went down.
Today, we crowned a champion on the campus of IMG Academy at the 2024 Generation Adidas Cup U15s. Valencia, Toulouse, and Mark makes it happen as he's done all tournament.
But it's the spacing before he gets on the ball. It's Santi who comes central, and it's Mark that breaks the line with his run. The way he just opens up his hips, so clean, so classy. 1-0 Valencia.
And then insurance, always necessary in a final. Stepping up is Amadou. What a strike!
As Jay requires so much attention, he plays it right into the path of his number 9. There's information on it. He needs to hit it first time. Just ropes this thing in the top corner. That's 2 goals for Valencia. And more importantly, they are your U15 GA Cup champions.
Valencia victorious. The final 2-0 over Toulouse.
A magnificent showing for Valencia. Their technical staff said they came into that tournament after struggling last year to win it. That was the only thing on their mind, and that's exactly what they did. Congratulations to Valencia at the U15 level. The U17 championship match came down to a shootout. David Goss has the details.
You couldn't ask for a better final here at the 2024 Generation Adidas Cup. The clear 2 best teams, a clash of titans, a clash of styles as the Philadelphia Union against the LA Galaxy. Diego Rocio gets the scoring started once again for the 3rd straight game.
Fantastic technique from Rocio to let this thing come across, but it's a reaction from the Galaxy. As Miller goes by, and the space is the cutback. Clever run from Moreno. Get it on target. You give yourself a chance from Vanny. It's an uh-oh moment for Atkinson, but it's 1-1 at this point in time.
Dylan Vanny equalizes just 2 minutes later. Adam Dunbar gets on the end of this one, cannot finish. Mathieu Albert follows it up, and Dunbar with the go-ahead goal.
There to clean it up. But Atkinson, you want to parry it wide and away from pressure. 2-1 LA Galaxy, but you knew the Union will never go down without a fight. First it's Saidi, then it's Johnson, and just watch in the center of your screen, it's Sullivan. Johnson has the composure, the patience to let this play develop, and the ongoing run to advance yourself as a midfielder is so important for Sullivan. Little dance from Johnson. Thank you very much. 2-2, David Goss.
Gavin Sullivan equalizes, but regulation was not enough to get between these 2 teams, and we went to a shootout. Atkinson with the massive save to keep his team alive. Neil Pierre scores it in the 6th round. Sekiris puts it over, and back-to-back GA Cup championships for the Philadelphia Union.
Philadelphia with a U17 championship in 2023 and the U17 championship in 2024. Congratulations to Philadelphia Union U17s. We talk a lot about the path for the players through the MLS system, but the path for coaches is equally important. Let's meet Erin Ridley and talk her journey into MLS coaching in San Jose.
My name is Erin Ridley, and I'm the head coach of the U15 boys here at the San Jose Earthquakes. I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee originally. I was a multi-sport athlete. I played soccer, of course. I played softball, basketball, tennis, swimming, cross-country, track. So a lot of different sports, but fell in love with soccer, and that was the one for me.
Like so many kids, Erin's introduction to the game came through family.
I started playing soccer at the age of 11, and my brother and I joke because my mom signed him up first, and he's younger than me, and of course I couldn't let my younger brother do anything competitively that he was doing that I wasn't doing.
In 1994, the United States hosted the Men's World Cup, which boosted the popularity of soccer around the country.
It wasn't long after that that we had the 1994 World Cup here in the United States, and I was completely captivated. I was 11 years old for the 94 World Cup, and definitely fell in love with the U.S. team at that point and followed the game ever since.
Erin played as a goalkeeper, falling in love with the position early. She attended the University of Virginia, where she was part of the #1 recruiting class in the country. Unfortunately, during her time in Charlottesville, Erin suffered numerous injuries, which steered her in the direction of becoming a coach.
I was really lucky that I went right into college coaching after I was done with playing, and I fell in love with it for its own sake.
Coaching would lead Erin back to her hometown, where she would coach the women's team of one of MLS Next Pro's newest clubs, Chattanooga FC.
So I was the head coach of the Chattanooga FC women, which is in the WPSL. And that was an incredible experience for me. One, because that's home for me. Chattanooga's home. So it kind of felt full circle coming back.
My first impression of her was that she, first of all, knew the game very well at a super high level. Even back then, that was super clear.
My husband and I moved back to my hometown to help me recover, and I was really lucky to get into that community and become the head coach there. And the first year was really challenging. It was all local players. I had been coming back from this brain injury and only had gotten back on the field in time to get open tryouts. And they were the most amazing, bought-in, hardworking women. And I had players from 16 to 32. I had young mothers on the team. I had high school players on the team. I think we won one game that year. And that set the foundation for the next year. And the following year, we had not only the sport community, the Chattahooligans there are incredible, but I was able to recruit nationally, and we brought in top players, and we were able to make an incredible run and put together, but it started with that first year and this like spark and love of the game. And one of my favorite parts about that is how many of those women have continued to play, they extended their careers, or even that they're now coaching. And I think that's a huge mark of success from that time.
She expects a lot out of her players. She expects a super high level of commitment and work rate and all those great, qualities that you'd expect in a strong player. But at the end of the day, like there's compassion there to where the players knew, they always knew that she cared about their best interests. So even when she pushed them, it was from the right place, and everybody always knew that.
Erin also coached at Baylor School, a boarding school in Chattanooga. While on staff at Baylor School, Erin coached Darrell's oldest daughter, Zoe.
As a parent, whether your kid's in athletics or not, you want them to be around teachers and coaches who care for them as human beings first. I don't think anybody puts their kid in sports for any other reason than to have them mentored and nurtured. And I saw that as a parent. Erin is the kind of coach that you want your kid to play for. And then on the professional side, she's the kind of coach you want involved in your organization because of everything that she stands for, her level of excellence that she expects of, not only her players, but of herself. She's constantly been growing. You've seen that in the way her career has evolved.
Erin's time at Chattanooga FC is remembered fondly for her impact on and off the pitch. A coach of her pedigree will always draw the attention of U.S. soccer. In 2018, the U.S. U17 girls national team was preparing for the World Cup, and Erin was asked to help out. During that time, she met Luciano Fusco, a member of the Quakes organization, and Andreas Deza.
Andres was the girls director at the time and had worked with Luciano for a long time. And they were in a transition moment where Luciano was actually being pulled into the boys' side. And when we were on the trip in South Korea, Andreas had mentioned that he needed a coach, and he wanted me to come check things out. And my husband and I flew out, and we were really blown away by our visit that we had here. And it was amazing. So I came in, I was named the U19 head coach. I also took over the U17s, and I was also doing the goalkeepers as well. And it was a really special environment. We had so many top players in that group. We won a national championship with the 15s. We were the coach of the, staff of the year for the DA on the west side. I think it's been a really unique experience being the first female head coach for the MLS platform. Like that is something that I really am humbled by and I don't take for granted ever. Having the opportunity here at the Quakes to coach at a high level on the women's side and then come in and coach at a high level on the men's side has been really special to me.
While inspiring others isn't what Erin set out to do when she began her coaching journey, her path has made her an inspiration to many.
Hopefully women see what I've been able to do and feel like they belong here and that they see themselves there as well. And not only that, but that the young men that I coach also see that as normal as well. And I have a great relationship with the guys that I coach here, and I'm very, very proud of them. And it's very rewarding to be their coach. I was really struck by a conversation I had with a parent that said, look, it's so important. You always hear as a woman, it's so important for women to see women, to see it, to be it. But I had a parent in Chattanooga, Tennessee tell me, it's so important for my son to see you. And I never forgot that. It really changed the way I looked at things, is that not only is it important for women to see other women doing things that they aspire to do, but it is important for young men to see that. And I take that responsibility very seriously as well.
Erin is vocal about more opportunities being afforded to women in sports.
I think the landscape has changed in that there are certainly more professional opportunities for women across the board. The level of professionalism on the women's side has been increasing exponentially over the last 20 years, and we're seeing huge gains from the way that women can use the platform to make a career out of playing and then make a career out of coaching. We're seeing how normal it is to see female referees taking the lead. We're seeing female strength coaches and female nutritionists, analysts. We're seeing lots more women involved in staffs. I would say that if you love the game, that there's a place for you. And when it comes to coaching, it's about giving back. I think that one of my favorite parts of coaching is that I know what was transmitted to me and the passion that the people that I worked with, that they had for the game, and I know what it added to my love of the game, and I hope that I can continue to pass that on. So my message to women is that they belong on the sideline, they belong in the game, and that they have a voice that is valuable. And I think too often when they don't see themselves there, it's easy to tell themselves that it's too much work or they probably wouldn't be welcome there anyway, and that's just not true, and that they have the power to write their own story and to be part of something that they get to set the path towards. And whether it's coaching boys or girls, men or women, I think that the most important thing that women can see is just to get started. If they love something, if they have a passion for it, there's a place for them.
Here's the match week 6 schedule. Crown Legacy and Orlando City, 2 playoff teams from last year. One of the highlights of the upcoming schedule. And of course, Columbus Crew 2 and NYCFC. And as mentioned, Red Bulls and Philadelphia Union on Sunday at 3 p.m. That's going to be a very good one as well. Now let's take a look at the first half highlights. Mentioned from the jump that it was going to be a clash of styles. And right from the beginning, you see the punch. Ball comes back down to Vasquez, and Chris Donovan the first to pounce as he puts it past John Berner for the goal. Philadelphia would take a lead early in the first half, and for Atlanta, they really could not get around this Philadelphia defense, and that's one thing that they're going to have to do going into the second half. Here's one chance that Dejani had as he came into the box, but really did not trouble the goalkeeper, Andrew Rick. And Atlanta overall did not really concede very many opportunities themselves. It was really just that nice pass and then shot off the header from Chris Donovan. And in a match like this, sometimes one opportunity is all you're going to get, so have to take advantage of it. Here are the first half stats. You see only 1 shot on target for Atlanta compared to 2 for Philadelphia. But as the lights come on here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium and in Kennesaw, Georgia, the real question is, how will Atlanta respond in the second half? Atlanta as a team has not played in 3 weeks. And this is their first match after getting a win over Carolina Court. One sub to note from the halftime break. Edward Davis comes on for Marcus Anderson. And Davis was named co-rising star of the month of March after having a game-winning goal against Toronto and a game-tying goal versus Chicago, as Philadelphia looks for some insurance on the road, leading 1-0 on top of Atlanta. Eastern Conference matchup. Atlanta in their black tops and black bottoms, and Philadelphia in their teal, yellow, and white tops with teal blue bottoms. Olney Jr. taps the ball forward. This is Donovan. Ball comes all the way across, blocked away by Hernandez. The ricochet comes down to Vasquez. Zips the ball to Olney Jr. Now Westfield. Ball lost to Atlanta. Dejani. And Macanya holds everyone off. Goal kick coming for Philadelphia. A collision. And again, Philadelphia will have the free kick. Look at the standings in the East right now coming into today. Philadelphia was 4th in the East with 9 points. And with this being just the second match of the season for Atlanta, they were sitting in 11th. I mentioned they will have a lot of matches over the next 10 days. They'll take on Chattanooga. Carlos Rojas Torres needing some extra time to get up. But Atlanta will have matches against Chattanooga, a team that has maybe surprised a couple people as they're in their first season in MLS Next Pro. Put up 6 goals against Inter Miami in their last match. Atlanta also has to take on FC Cincinnati 2. We will see how Atlanta attacks this 4-4-2 diamond defense for Philadelphia as the Union look for more goals on the road. Ball out, throw in coming. Nick Pariano will hand it to his teammate, Yamir Verdicio. Verdicio, first team defender, Bolivian Youth International at just 21 years of age. Taps the ball in to Davis, back out to Pariano. Pumps the ball into the box. Headed, ball down. Davis turning, blocked. His header would not be denied. Edward Davis comes off the bench and gives Philadelphia a 2-goal lead. The co-rising star of March shining bright on the road in Atlanta. Great initial action. Ball comes out to Pariano, who puts it all the way across the box. Olney Jr. can't do anything with it, so he heads it into a dangerous area. And then Edward Davis, the spin, and the first initial stop by Burner was fantastic, but Davis shows off his athleticism to head the ball over Burner. And Philadelphia has 2 goals on the road on top of Atlanta United.
Philadelphia Union 2 goal in the 49th minute from number 77, Edward Davis.
Atlanta trying to answer quickly. This is Matthew Edwards, the former Tar Heel. Edwards lifts the ball towards Luke Brennan, but a little too high. Goal kick coming for Philadelphia. Well, we saw in the first team match that Philadelphia was the team that went down and battled their way back to a 2-2 draw. Does Atlanta have the same thing in them at the second team level? As Morales puts him in on his backside. Gabo, Westfield just plays the ball into the middle, picked up by Atlanta. Carlton, nice ball out wide to Luke Brennan. Isolated with Westfield, overlapping run. Brennan takes it himself. And Brennan had Hernandez off his right shoulder, elected to go for goal himself, and earns Atlanta a corner. Gallardo whips the ball in. Dealt with, and Edwards will go back to Gallardo. Brennan cannot swerve past Yamir Bericio, and the ball is out off of him. This broadcast is presented by Piedmont. 52nd minute of action. Philadelphia doubles their lead rather quickly. In the second half, Edward Davis comes off the bench and makes an immediate impact within 5 minutes. And now has 3 goals on the season. That's the 17-year-old. All lost in the middle of the pitch. Periano pushes towards Donovan. Donovan can't connect with Vasquez initially, but David Vasquez would not be denied. And now a free kick for Philadelphia. Big moment for the Union, already leading by 2 goals. Can really stick their claws into Atlanta with something special here. Two very capable strikers of the ball stand behind this free kick. Chris Olney Jr. last season 4 goals and led the team in assists with 8. David Vasquez, 4th most goals on the team with 5 last year. '54th minute, Philadelphia looking to add to their lead. Olney Jr. Wonderfully done. And Chris Olney Jr. makes it 3-0 Philadelphia. A beautiful curling shot, pace on it, bite on it, and it finds that far corner for a goal. And Philadelphia well out in front of Atlanta now.
Atlanta made 2 substitutions in the 54th minute. Exiting the match, number 41, Alan Carlton. Entering the match, number 52, Eric Centeno.
Eric Centeno comes on for Alan Carlton. Kareem Tamimi comes on for Matthew Dejani after Philadelphia has put 2 past John Berner in this second half. And they are in the lead 3-0. Kareem Tamimi, a player that scored the last time he was on the pitch. Atlanta now will need 3 goals just to find any points from this match here at home. Gallardo switches the point of attack to Armas. Armas lets the run go by. And that ball is pushed out. So nice shot in the middle of the pitch as the ball is pushed wide by Andrew Rick. In a corner for Atlanta. Can they find something? Shut the water off for Philadelphia. Armas to Morales. All the way to Brennan. Francis Westfield has done really well guarding Luke Brennan. He's been step for step with him. Brennan is a slippery individual and can really cause problems for a back line, but Westfield has been with him this entire match. Westfield, the 18-year-old from Philadelphia, signed to play at Penn State in the fall. Tamimi comes in, trying to put pressure on Macanya and makes him play it out. Gallardo. Hernandez. Now Brennan. And Westfield just rises up, hits that ball off his back, and lets out a yell. We told you, Philadelphia prides themselves on defense. Gallardo. Brennan is taken down, and that will be a foul. So Luke Brennan getting the best of Westfield in that duel. And Matias Gallardo prepares to take the free kick for Atlanta. Ball comes towards the back post. And was fluttering for a moment. Andrew Rick didn't seem to be bothered by it. Ball goes out for a goal kick. Andrew Rick has not been very busy to date. The 18-year-old from Bethesda, Maryland. 19 starts last year, 2 clean sheets. 3 starts this year, no clean sheets. Philadelphia trying to not only continue their scoring, but keep the sheet clean. Fifth Third Bank plays host to Atlanta United's next game this coming Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern versus FC Cincinnati 2. Check out all the action right here on MLSNextPro.com. Atlanta in a 3-0 hole right now. Centeno on the edge. And that's headed away by Macanya. So another corner for Atlanta. They've had multiple chances with these corners, but have not really tested Andrew Rick. Javier Armas looking to play in. Some great service. and really put some type of pressure on the goalkeeper. Ball lifted in. It's dealt with by Philadelphia. Armas gets it back. Sends the ball back into the box. And Caden Moore was feeling he was being held as he made his run towards the back post. But again, nothing coming from it. Centeno will take this over amongst a lot of pressure from David Vasquez. Vasquez still putting pressure on Centeno. He goes back to Caden Moore. The ball goes out for a Philadelphia throw. So even up 3 goals, Philadelphia still making it difficult for Atlanta to build. This has been a defensive clinic for the Union. This ball is still free. Taken in by Atlanta. Armas. Brennan lets it come through. And again, Westfield not allowing Luke Brennan any space to operate. So Jacob Williams prepares to come on for Atlanta, and can he breathe some life into this Atlanta attack? Caden Moore will come out. Williams playing on the Eastern Conference regular season championship team last year at Crown Legacy. And Williams can be a goal scorer even from his right back or left back position. So he'll come in and play left back for Atlanta. Can join the attack. Has great ball striking ability. And right now, Philadelphia will have a free kick. This broadcast is presented by Gallagher. 63rd minute of action. Philadelphia pouring it on here in the second half. Already have scored 2 goals after going into the break up 1-0. Chris Olney Jr. has one of those goals. Sends the ball into the box. And Burner drops this, but picks it up. And Atlanta in possession. Hernandez. Central. And now coming out wide is Centeno. Centeno sends the ball well across the box. Tamimi will keep it in. This is Williams, first touch. Flip the ball towards the back post. Nobody there. Ball will roll out for a Philadelphia throw. So now Atlanta, as you can see, putting numbers into the attack. And they have to do that down the 3 goals. Here's where, if they can poke a ball free, potentially find a goal. Ball won by Hernandez. And now this is Vasquez. Nice ball to Donovan. Chris Donovan already has a goal on the day and now has a second. A brace for Chris Donovan And Philadelphia well out in front now, 4-0. This is the problem when you have to push numbers forward into the attack. One ball, and Chris Donovan is through. Donovan takes the shot, and after the deflection, the ball bounces right into the back of the net. And Philadelphia has come to play on the road against Atlanta. Philadelphia in front 4-0. And mentioned how much of a defensive clinic it's been, but they have taken advantage of their chances offensively as well. Brennan racing into some space, but Westfield closing things down. Back to Hernandez. All left for Armas. Williams whips the ball into the box. Headed down by Westfield, putting his head on the line with Tamimi right there. Donovan working against Morales. He will not win that battle as he looks for a third. This is Jacob Williams. Trying to connect with Centeno. Nothing in that. Hernandez cannot beat Javier Verdicio. Brennan forces the ball across the box. Did it take a deflection? It did not. Goal kick. Well, for Philadelphia, this 4 goals, the most they have scored this season. Coming into today, they had a total of 6 goals. And now have almost matched that season total in 68 minutes of play. Hernandez going up with his elbow, and that is why a foul was called in the air. And you see some subs preparing to come on for Philadelphia. So Giovanni Sequeira, Kyle Tucker, and Gavin Wetzel all come on. As Philadelphia will look to finish this match off.
Philadelphia Union 2 substitutions in the 69th minute. Exiting the match, number 30, Yamir Bordesio. Entering the match, number 58, Gavin Wetzel. Exiting the match, number 41, David Vasquez. Entering the match, number 38, Giovanni Sequeira. Also exiting the match, number 24, Rick Mariano. Entering the match, number 88, Kyle Tucker.
And now Sanders and Gallardo getting into it a bit. Free kick coming for Philadelphia. Kyle Tucker comes in takes this free kick. And Francis Westfield just missing that far post with his header, as Philadelphia looks for their 5th. Atlanta has possession, but for Philadelphia, you should set a reminder because you're not going to want to miss Union 2's next game on April 21st when they welcome Red Bulls 2 to Chester, PA. Coverage on MLS Season Pass begins at 3 p.m. Eastern. And talked about how many goals New York had in their last match, a 5-5 draw. Philadelphia looking to match their 5 in this match. It's been much different for the Union. Went into the break leading 1-0. Early in this second half, Edward Davis got his 3rd goal of the season. And then Chris Donovan found his 2nd goal. And Chris Olney Jr. had a beautiful free kick, which really put the clamps down for Philadelphia. At the break, Atlanta had 8 shots, but only 1 on target. And that just shows how difficult it has been. Donovan, a glancing header, could not test burner. This is Davis being held onto by Morales. Edward Davis trying to go 1v2, will not win that battle. And then Davis fouls Matthew Edwards. Armas, right to Tamimi, who lets this ball trickle through. And that's going to be a foul on Giovanni Sequeira, who just came on. Sequeira on loan from Metropolitanos in the Venezuelan top flight. Also has made 10 caps with the Venezuelan national team. This is Jacob Williams, came on as a sub. Now Edwards, the captain. Armas picks it up near midfield. Goes right back to Williams. Nice ball to Centeno. Keeps it in play. And Philadelphia keeps possession. Morales with the slide tackle, and Ephraim Morales will now go into the book.
Atlanta United 2 yellow card in the 74th minute, number 21.
Morales. Atlanta United homegrown, started with ATL at the U12 level. Re-signed this offseason all the way through the end of 2024. This broadcast is presented by Adidas. Ball lifted towards the box, bouncing. Armas wants to keep it in to avoid the corner. And goal kick coming for Atlanta. even after 75 minutes of action, still so difficult for Atlanta to find a way through this defense of Philadelphia. And now another yellow card will be shown. This going to Kareem Tamimi, who just came on.
Atlanta United team yellow card in the 76th minute, number 99, Kareem Tamimi.
And now for Philadelphia, just Kyle Tucker, moonlighting as an athletic trainer, making sure his teammate is okay. Carlos Rojas Torres is back up, just trying to ensure. And Rojas Torres, of course, played last year with Deportivo La Guera, another Venezuelan youth national. Armas. Back to Edwards. Big switch. Good idea as this ball comes to Centeno. Okello. Williams. Back to Mobile Okello. The final pass not there for Atlanta. And Philadelphia still feeling it. And Chris Donovan, if he takes a better touch, he might have 3 goals. A foul as Williams goes to ground, and a free kick for Atlanta. They take it quickly. Ball flipped out wide towards Luke Brennan. Brennan goes back to Hernandez and Gallardo. Hernandez cannot swivel around the defense. Edwards takes contact from Morales, who has to be careful on a yellow card. As Atlanta prepares to make another sub.
Substitution in the 79th minute, exiting the match, number 25, Luke Brennan. Entering the match, number 57, Stephen Herlock.
Stephen Herlock comes on for Brennan. As Brennan's day ends. Ball free. And we'll see. This is a point to the spot. Or if it's just a free kick, it will be on the outside of the box. Giovanni Sequeira is the man that was fouled. Just a step outside of the box. We've already seen Chris Olney Jr. hit one from maybe 22, 23 yards. This one will be from about 19. It was from this side that Chris Olney Jr. bended the ball into that bottom right post and scored the goal. Kyle Tucker has come in. Tucker took the last free kick. Tucker signed in the middle of July last year and has no career goals. It's Tucker, and he has his first goal. Perfectly placed. Kyle Tucker makes it 5-0 Philadelphia. Beautifully done. Nothing that Burner could do. He is at full stretch, and the ball flies past him. Kyle Tucker, who played his college ball at Drexel. 5 goals, 15 assists. I don't know if he had one in college as wonderful as that one. So Kyle Tucker comes on as a substitute and scores for Philly, as they have not only put on a defensive clinic, but a set-piece clinic as well. And you just see it. John Burner sets the wall, but then Philadelphia players put 2 or 3 exactly where the shots are coming from, so Burner doesn't see that ball until it's come around the bend, and he's picking it up out of the back of the net.
81st minute for number 88, Kyle Tucker.
Matias Gallardo picking up a yellow card for Atlanta, and it's been a frustrating day for Atlanta United. After coming off a long hiatus, we're really excited about the opportunity to get back and play against another team.
Atlanta United, yellow card in the 83rd minute.
Philadelphia has really come to play this evening, and they have taken it to the home side.
Check that, Atlanta United 2, yellow card number 55, Matias Gallardo.
For Philadelphia. Chris Donovan got it started. A goal in the first half. But we went into the break 1-0, and the conversation coming out of halftime was, could Atlanta ensure that they did not concede an early second, which would really allow for Philadelphia's style to impress itself on Atlanta United. That was not the case, as Edward Davis scored rather quickly. And now some pushing and shoving, as yellow card was given to Sanders and Gabo. And this is one of those moments for Sean Tahini, the head referee, where he has to kind of calm things down, because there's, as mentioned, obvious frustration from Atlanta with the way the scoreline is looking. Philadelphia is trying to finish things off with a clean sheet. But mentioned the goal scored in the first half by Donovan, then Edward Davis scoring quickly in the second. Then Chris Olney Jr. had a beautiful free kick from 24 yards out, which really broke the doors open. Chris Donovan had a goal off a counterattack to give him a brace. And then Kyle Tucker just had a spectacular shot to make it 5-0. Atlanta will have to regroup. They'll have a couple of matches in quick succession. They'll play again on Sunday versus FC Cincinnati 2. And then they have a midweek game, which is a reschedule from a match this week. They're supposed to play Chattanooga on Wednesday. That match has been rescheduled to next Wednesday. And the fans still into it here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium as Neil Pierre prepares to come on for Sanders and Gabo. Pierre fresh off his GA Cup championship, as he is now a two-time U17 GA Cup champion. Because it took Ngabo too long to come off the field, Pierre has to wait on the sideline, which is one of the rules in Next Pro, to ensure that players aren't taking their time coming off the field and wasting it in the back end of matches. Perlock sends the ball in, and it goes right to the goalkeeper, Andrew Rick. Pierre still has not been allowed to come onto the pitch. The rule is a minute. Now Pierre comes on. And Philadelphia will get organized as Pierre is led onto the pitch to complete the substitution. Donovan trying to break free past Edwards. Edwards stops him off. Nice ball over the top. Looking for Olney Jr. It is cleared away by Morales. This is Davis. Donovan loses possession, looking for Westfield. Donovan tries to keep possession. This ball is then lost to Armas, goes around Tucker. Sends the ball out looking for Centeno. But again, slide tackle by Gavin Wetzel, just 17 years of age. He made his debut in the second match of the season, and he started and played in all 3 matches since. Played all 90 minutes before coming off the bench today. Comes out to Olney Jr. Cuts through. Ball picked up. Now Westfield was trying to find Donovan, who was sitting on 2 goals, looking for a hat trick.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 4th official has posted there will be 4 minutes.
The 4th official announcing a minimum of 4 minutes of stoppage time. That's all that stands between Philadelphia and 3 points on the road. Philadelphia was to win this match. They would move to 2nd in the Eastern Conference, a point behind the Red Bulls. And again, New York and Philadelphia will match up in Chester, Pennsylvania next week. So it'll be the 2 top teams in the East battling in an early season matchup, which definitely could have playoff implications and be a potential playoff preview. course, Next Pro bringing back the Choose Your Own Opponent, which was so fun last season. Think about Sporting Kansas City choosing Austin, and Austin having to go on the road in all of their playoff matches and end up winning Next Pro Cup. Columbus being picked by Crown Legacy. Them losing at home to Columbus. There's a hold from behind. Jacob Williams goes down, and a yellow card is shown. That goes to Chris Donovan.
Philadelphia Union 2 yellow card in the 90th minute, number 25, Christopher Donovan.
That ball goes past Stephen Herlock. Atlanta will regroup. Their next match is going to be against Cincinnati, a team that has struggled in the Eastern Conference going back to last season, but does have excellent talent throughout their academy, and especially at the first team level. And they will have 2 opportunities over the next week to really get things figured out. But they take on a Chattanooga side next Wednesday that really put a similar hurting on Inter Miami. They scored 6 goals in that match. So this has been a weekend of scoring for sure, going back to match day 5. Philadelphia has expectation to do things like this often this season. This is Donovan. Philadelphia will not have the throw-in. It'll be for Atlanta. Edwards attempts to clear it away. Westfield sends the ball back into the box. Davis can't control it off the hop. And John Berner will have the goal kick. As Westfield ends up on the pitch, precious seconds will come off for Atlanta. And now all that is left is the final whistle. There it is. A furious 5-0 victory for Philadelphia. They take down Atlanta United to the tune of 5 goals. 2 coming from our Adidas man of the match, Chris Donovan. Philadelphia's Chris Donovan, 23 years of age, big goals at the first team level, and had some big goals in this match, 2 tonight. This one, the first, a header, first one to the ball, and he scores. Then off the counter, Donovan 1v1 with Morales. He would beat him, and then would beat John Berner for the brace. Your man of the match is Chris Donovan of Philadelphia Union 2, presented by Adidas. Thank you so much for joining us this Monday evening as Philadelphia comes down to Kennesaw, Georgia and leaves with 3 points. The final, Philadelphia 5, Atlanta 0. Don't forget you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLS Season Pass on Apple TV and MLSNextPro.com with my fantastic Apple TV crew. My name is James Adnott saying good night and have a blessed evening.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.